Howdy, y'all. So on the next episode of Ricky's Big World, we gonna spill all the tea.
It's worth more money knowing that it went to somebody that was so, like, in need of something like that. Yeah.
Well,
and so kind.
What the hell did I just lick off my finger?
I have no idea.
I sure hope that's piece of salt. Okay, yeah, it is.
Back in the pizza world caverns, behind the test ovens, and in reality next to the bathrooms, it's Ricky's Big World.
Hey, and welcome to another episode of Ricky's Big World. Now I want to show y'all what we got right here.
It is Italian sausage.
Italian sausage. Now this is on the special, because they had the lunch specials Monday through Friday at Pizza World, and this is one of the special that they have, and you get. That is so beautiful. You get that in a drink.
Yeah.
For
$5.
$5.35.
Yeah, $5.35 with tax.
All right, so now we got it. So we're gonna do this before we start talking about. Hallelujah.
Tastes so good.
Tastes so good. Okay. And my special cup for this episode. Is my fingers over it?
What are you saying?
Are my fingers over it?
No, it's good. Oh my gosh.
I know. And then there's that. Now that right there was said by her child. Go ahead and tell the story about that.
My child was on the playground.
That is not true here. That is true here.
My child was on the playground. And something happened. And somebody a kid got hurt or something. They're like, oh, I almost lost my leg. And my child went, oh, like Ricky. And the other kid goes, who? And she goes, you don't know who Ricky is?
Now, what grade is your child in?
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten. She got all attitude in kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
To explain to this child. Now, what else did she say?
That's it. She was like, you know who Ricky is? He's on the radio. And he doesn't have any legs.
I got legs. They just prosthetic legs.
It's true. She likes playing with your legs, which is a funny sentence to say out loud.
She's like, what?
She likes to play with your leg.
Let me tell you what the child did one time. She took my leg off.
Okay,
ran out the door with
she
it.
did not take your leg off. You took it off to
my apologies.
To do shock value.
I pushed the button on my leg so it would go off. She grabbed my leg and ran with it. Mm-hmm. Came back, put a whole chef leaf or chef salad inside my leg.
She did
and said,
not.
please eat this with some ranch dressing.
No, she didn't.
Okay, that's how I remembered it.
You were so full of it. Ricky likes to take his leg off around her because her facial expression is like, what?
Her facial expressions alone was worth it. All right, what do you want to talk about that? Because you had something on your mind, and I was like, you really want to talk about that?
Oh yeah, you've mentioned, so we've had some discussions about places that you've lived. Mm-hmm. And you talk about them briefly, but I think there's some places people didn't know you lived for a while, like Africa,
India,
and Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't talk about those a ton, and I am interested. I want to know. So, tell us everything. Your glasses are falling.
I was trying to be cool, but I didn't like. So, our daughter was born. I'm not going to tell you the year. Never mind. So, right after our daughter was born, Jennifer and I had been talking about. We lived in Atlanta at the time. And Jennifer and I were talking about. We always wanted to go to Seattle because we saw the movie Disclosure, and I think we talked about Disclosure in another episode. But we saw the movie Disclosure. We're like, oh wow, I would love to live in Seattle. So, Jacqueline, 6 months old. Let's go 6 months. We decided we're going to move to Seattle. All right? We ripped that child away from family and everything in Georgia. This ain't going to work. Okay. Anyway, so we I found a job in Seattle. I went to a headhunter, paid him money.
A headhunter.
A headhunter, a job
I
person.
see. Okay, I never heard it called that.
I went. We live in Atlanta. I went to their office. I get there, talk to them. I said I want a job in Atlanta, and I was in the IT industry at the time. And they found me a great job. And what you doing? Why you touch the camera and make it move?
I was checking it.
I understand, but you don't make it like an earthquake.
So,
I mean, I know I shake it fine, but I mean, you know.
we're starting to hit a point.
Anyway, point is, so interviewed for I talked to the person on the phone for them about the job and everything. Got the job. We get a U-Haul with a 75-pound dog and a 6-month-old baby, and we hightail it from Georgia to Seattle, Washington. Took us 4 days to get there. And because that U-Haul truck was awesome, but when you got that much stuff, packing it down, you slow. So we got there, and hold on, let me stop for a second, because along the way we stopped in Little America, Wyoming.
Okay.
It is an oasis.
An oasis?
It is. You got all this desert, beige-looking environment, and then you get to Little America. It's this green oasis.
Wow.
And they water day long. And it is nothing but, it was a hotel and a truck stop. That's the city. And so we stayed in a hotel. Well, I wanted to check all the fluids. And I was looking at this because it was in a Zuzu truck. And I was looking at everything, and I was like, everything looked the same. And I could not see inside. I'm looking at everything. I said, okay, let me call the people. I said, I think I need to add some oil. I want to make sure the oil is okay. So I called them, and I said, hey, let me know. I've got this truck, this brand, this model, this. And the person on the phone says, oh, well, you put that in that reservoir. And I said, okay, this reservoir here. And I described it to them on the phone. Yes, that's the one. Okay. Guess what? Put the wrong fluid in the wrong one. So here I am.
You put the wrong fluid in?
I put Earl into the radiator pump, the container, because they all look the same on this truck. And I know my way around cars and vehicles, but I was like, I don't know, let me check. And so the truck broke down. Cranked it up, it blah, 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 blah. So they tried to blame me. And I'm like, no. Your people told me this. So we got a new truck, everything was fine. And along the way we went. So, and it wasn't you all that was blaming us, it was the service that they used. And I don't think they use that service anymore.
That makes sense.
So thank you, U-Haul, for having our backs on that. So we carry on. We go. We get to Seattle. I had already arranged for an apartment complex. So we get to our apartment. I go in there to tell them, hey, we're here, blah, blah. They said, I'm sorry, sir, but you have been denied. I said, what do you mean I've been denied? We need proof of an employer. And we don't have that proof of employer.
What?
I said, no, hold on. So I called the headhunter. And I contacted them, and I said, hey, I went to contact them to say, hey, blah, blah, blah. Couldn't get nobody on the phone.
What?
So I said, wait a minute, hold on. So the number that I called for the employer, it kept saying, circuits are busy. I'm like, okay. So I called my friend who lives near their office, and I said, hey, would you do me a favor, go by the office and tell them to give me a call? He goes by the office. He says, Ricky, I may have the wrong address. And I tell him the address. He tells me the address. Same address. I said, what's going on? He said, there's nothing in here.
What?
That's what I said. What do you mean? He said, there's nobody in, no furniture, no nothing in this office. I went, excuse me? So they wouldn't let us, lease the apartment. So Jennifer and I found a Motel 6 to stay in. So we stay in the thing. I'm frantically trying to figure out what's going on. My buddy calls me back the next day, and he says, "Hey, Ricky," he said, "I want to let you know that that they were fake.
Whoa.
They took your money." Now I saw the Better Business Bureau thing on the wall. I saw business license. They were smooth. Had me a contract with this company. Everything worked the same. The person on the line who I talked to at the company, evidently he was fake too.
What?
Mm-hmm. So had me fooled, and to this day I'm angry because I was dumbed up on this one. So we've got our U-Haul. Jennifer's car is connected to the back. So we decided, you know what? The last day, because we told each other, hey, look, we'll stay a week, and if we can't find nothing in a week, then we got enough money to head on back to Georgia and relive our lives again. Okay,
yeah.
So we're good. So last day, because we're going to decide to leave the next morning, unhook the car. We drive, we get on the ferry boat, we go over to Bremerton. Part of the island chains is there, and even though it's got a peninsula part of it. So we get over there, gorgeous area, we're starting to explore. We come across an apartment complex called Sunfjord Apartments. Mm-hmm. We pull in there, and I'm like, this is beautiful. Let's talk to them. So in there and talk to them, we told them the truth. We said, look, this is what happened. I've got a baby, a dog. We're going to go back to Georgia. If we can't find anything, we'll realize we do. And she's like, okay, do you have first and last month's rent? I said, yeah, we can provide that. Well, I can pay 6 months in advance if you want. She said, no, I trust you. And they allowed us to move in.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, when I say this apartment was gorgeous, I remember at the time, it was $580 a month. And it was a 2-bedroom apartment with a gourmet kitchen. The laundry room was behind the kitchen. But the main thing is the wall of glass. There was a beautiful big wall of glass, and the apartment was staggered down the side of a cliff.
Wow. So
So you could see Puget Sound. And then to the right, you could see, which way y'all going? To the right, you could see the Mount Rainier.
Yeah.
And then to the left, you can see the World War II battleships that are in the Puget Sound. And at night, you saw the sailboats going by. Big old glass pane. That was the part of the living room. Fireplace, marble fireplace. I mean, gorgeous place. And so we had moved in. I want to say 2 days later, I went to because that's how long it took us to get all our stuff out. I went to a temp agency, and I said, hey, look, this is my situation. It's my background. They got me working at AT&T on 4th Avenue, which is right by the Space Needle, downtown Seattle. Seattle.
Yeah.
And I had a brain fart for a second. I go in there, and it seemed great. I got a job in no time. It paid well. Mm-hmm. And granted, it was temp to perm, but I didn't care. I just needed a job, pay the bills.
Yeah.
And not drain our savings
Yeah.
to get out there. So we're living good and everything else. But for some reason, I kept calling out of work because I wanted to go explore Seattle. So I say, I don't feel good, I'm sick. They fired me. And so it's like, well, crap. And again, I was a lot younger. I was in my early 20s. We had a 6-month-old baby. I played too much back then. All right,
Yeah.
I'm too mature now to do that. But so Jennifer said, you know what? To be honest with you, this is great because I would like to go work instead. And we did not want anyone else watching our child.
Yeah.
We don't want no sitters. We want this. So I said, okay. So she went and found a job at the Art Institute of Seattle. And so we switched out. And I stayed home as a stay-at-home dad. Loved it. And
That's awesome.
Jennifer worked at Art Institute of Seattle. And then we got a phone call that my mom had cancer in Georgia. So we hightailed it back to Georgia.
Yeah.
All right, fine. It happens. But living in Seattle is amazing. I'm talking about you had the mountains, the ocean. On the ferry boats was cool because you'd see the orcas and the jellyfish floating around everywhere.
Yeah.
I love Seattle. We had this whenever we would go park to get onto the ferry boat. There was this one-legged. This should have been an omen. a one-legged seagull will come over there and steal my French fry. And I'm like, how your one-legged ass gonna sit there and say, oh, excuse me, how the one-legged self gonna sit there and steal my French fries right here in my lap? And he sure did, brazen little thing, but he only had one leg. And I should have seen that as an omen when I lost my leg. I should have seen it.
They were sending you signs.
Sending me signs. We went and we saw a bear on one of the islands. I was like, how the mess does bear get here on this island? Must have swam from one island to the other. It was just amazing. I love Seattle like you wouldn't believe. And in fact, I told Jennifer I wouldn't mind moving back if it wasn't for the snow.
Yeah.
But they can get some bad snow.
Is there snow like Iowa snow, though?
No. Their snow is like real fluffy. But and the thing is that you would think it would be worse. You think it would be more like icy because of the moisture. Mm-hmm. But no, it's like more fluffy. Now, when we lived in Vermont, that was bad snow. Okay, because, and now, again, that was Seattle back when my daughter was only 6 months old.
Yeah.
So that was a while back, family. That was a while back. We moved back to Georgia. We're staying there for a while. Did we move back to Atlanta? No, we're still in Columbus, Georgia. And then Jennifer graduated with her degree in chemistry from Columbus State University. And we decided that, she decided she wants to go to grad school. It's like, okay. So she puts in a bunch of applications and all that. Well, one was Dartmouth in New Hampshire, of all places.
Yeah.
And we got caught up in the Ivy League school accepted you. We got caught up in that.
Yeah.
She got a TA position there, grad school. So we moved from Georgia up to New Hampshire. So we're living there. And at the time, they changed the graduate student housing. It used to be like 1951 military barracks.
Okay.
And which did not have a very good image for an Ivy League school.
Right.
That is ridiculously expensive. But where we lived at, the back, in the kitchen, it was so small. Such a small little place. But the kitchen, I have such fond memories of this place because there's a screen door from the kitchen that leads to the trail that goes to the mountain.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful. Everybody was so friendly. But it was my first time ever having to use oil-based heat. Because in the closet was this tank, taller than what's behind me right now, that they would have to come and through a port through the side of the house, they pump actual oil into it.
Really?
And I was so scared the house was going to blow up. Man, you wouldn't believe it.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Up there, yes. Because I have an aunt and some family that live in Maine, and they were always talking about it, the oil heats and everything else. But so we were real happy about things like that. But then Jennifer got there was a partnership between University of Vermont and Dartmouth University that Jennifer wanted to be a part of. So we moved from Hanover, West Lebanon area, New Hampshire, to Burlington area of Vermont, which is way up north. And so we get there, and she continues her studies, and we thought we were going to be there until she graduated. All right, and we lived in graduate student housing there. It was real nice and real fancy in Essex Junction. And that was the place where we had the fire from the brand new washer dryer I was telling about.
Oh, that was episode. The story from.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that
okay.
was where we had it at. So, again, I couldn't live in Vermont because it's way too expensive. But beautiful. Oh my God, it's a beautiful place to visit. But so we thought we were going to be there until Jennifer graduated for getting her PhD. Well, all of a sudden, her professor, who's from Iowa, who said, I want to move my grants, my lab and everything over to University of Iowa. There are 15 grad students. I'm going to choose 5. Jennifer was one of them that he chose.
Wow.
And so we moved from Vermont, which was a place where we lost our car one time to snow. We walked outside and had to dig our way out of the house, dig a pathway to the car we could not see because it was gone. And it took us 2 hours to dig our way out, because evidently the school did not offer shovel service.
Oh.
So we had to dig our way out to the street so that Jennifer can get to class, I could get to work, and things like that.
Yeah.
So it was terrible. So anyway, so we moved to Iowa, and I was real happy because Vermont is a little bit on the cliquey side. I didn't really like that.
Okay.
I didn't care for some of the people. New Hampshire was cool, but Vermont was a whole different animal. I didn't like the weather. Then we moved here, and snow, but nothing like it did in Vermont. And what's crazy, when I moved here in 2005, to the time we just left to go to Louisiana, the snow and the winters have gotten less.
Really?
Less. I remember when we first moved here in 2005. By Halloween, we were walking through snow.
Yeah.
Like a lot of snow, a foot of snow or more. Now, you saw how it was back in October.
Yeah.
No snow. So I saw the change in the weather and the climate.
Yeah.
All right, so beside the point. So Iowa, I really like Iowa. Good ethics. I talked about this on other episodes.
Yeah.
It's just a really nice place to raise your kids. To just the weather's decent, and for some reason, Cedar Rapids seems to be like a dome. Other places in Iowa would get all this bad weather, and Cedar Rapids doesn't get it as much.
Yeah.
Except for that derecho.
Yeah.
So now our new adventure, like it has been for a while, is now in Louisiana.
I had no idea that you guys moved to Iowa for her schooling.
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe she had found a job or something.
It was all school. At that time, everything was about focusing on trying to get her graduate degree. Because here's my philosophy. And one of the reasons why Jennifer's and my relationship works so well is because I focus a lot on pushing her to get her career done, to make sure her dreams are fulfilled. There's a lot of people out there that they don't do that with.
Yeah.
So when Jennifer started this, because when I first met her in junior high school, all I ever heard was, I want to be a lawyer. I want to replace Sarah Day? I forgot her name. Supreme Court judge.
Mm-hmm.
And she wanted to replace her. She wanted to be that. We go through high school. She starts Columbus State University. She takes her first chemistry class, falls in love, changes her major from pre-law to chemistry.
Right away. It was just
right away.
Yeah.
And now
it just clicked.
Now she's a chemist, and that's the whole reason why we moved to Louisiana, because she found an amazing company that treats her wonderfully, that the benefits are phenomenal, her pay skyrocketed. She is happy.
Can you, and you don't have to, but like, what kind of chemistry does she do? Like, do you even know?
The company she works for is, they create a chemical that helps babies in the NIC unit breathe.
Wow.
When they have problems.
Yeah.
But she does, I think it's inorganic chemistry.
Okay.
Synthetic chemistry. But her last position here in Iowa was in a small molecules lab. So she deals with, like, oligos are this, I can't explain it, don't even ask. The head of a pen. There are so many that can fit on the head of a pen.
Yeah.
And they are, per oligo is high dollar. Okay, so that was the kind of chemistry that she did.
That's kind of cool.
She deals with rDNA and stuff like that. What I thought was funny is her family thought she was a pharmacist for a while.
Oh.
So they always called her up, hey, what's in this medicine? The doctor just gave me this, and I just don't know if I really need to be taking this because I got glaucoma, and I be messing up my diabetes.
She's like,
too.
I don't know, that's not what I do.
So she'll get on Google, and forgive me, family, she'll get on Google and research the chemical and then tell them,
Oh.
I knew I should have called you because you know everything, my pharmacist. And she's like, I'm not a pharmacist, I'm a chemist. Well, what you do? So we have to explain it.
It's so sweet that she would still like put the effort in.
It is very sweet.
It speaks to her character.
But it's the same thing anybody else could have done.
Yeah.
So, well, mama or whoever, go get on Google and find it and see what you find. But no, Jennifer, see, now I'm the opposite. I'm like, you know what? I found this on Google, so can you.
probably why you guys mesh so well. Just a little opposite.
We're opposite to a point.
I would agree with that.
I have a bigger mouth than she does.
Yeah. But I have no doubts that she would speak her mind if she needs to.
Bless your heart would come out real quick.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So, but yeah, living in Seattle was really nice. I liked it. And there was a point where I would move back. I don't know if I'll move back again.
Yeah.
Only because I don't want to deal with snow no more. I'm tired of it. I am so.
Once you left Iowa, you're like, I'm done now.
We've been here
we're
in
not
Iowa
gonna do
for
that.
20 years of dealing with snow. And in fact, remember I told you that I've lived in Seattle, lived in New Hampshire, and lived in Vermont. Never had a snowblower. Moved to Iowa. We were here 19 years, or maybe 18 years. No snowblower. Finally, I'm out there with no legs, just my prosthetic legs, with a shovel, shoveling our driveway. Jennifer and I are doing it. The guy across the street has a snowblower. He's doing his stuff. The guy next door to him has a snowblower. They're snowblowing each other's yards.
Oh, my goodness.
Neither one of them came over and offered to help while we're all out there at the same time.
Yeah.
Jennifer was so mad. She said, baby, you are getting a snowblower. So we go to, I think I bought it at Lowe's. We go to Lowe's, and we get a snowblower. Now, she actually went to Lowe's without me and got a snowblower. Being 6'4", though, it was too short because I kept really hunching over trying to use it. My back was hurting, and it didn't have a lot of power. I said, baby, do you mind if I go and trade this thing? She said, no, please do. Get a snowblower that you want, you like. So I go and buy this huge Husqvarna bright orange thing that I'm not playing with you. I'm standing up straight, and I'm able to do the controllers this high.
That's awesome.
And I go out there and I snow blow my neighbor's yards and everything else because I was going to be like them across the street and not help somebody. Because if I see somebody struggling who I know is handicapped, I'm getting my chunky self out there and I'm going to help out.
Right.
They didn't do that. So them pissing Jennifer off helped me out.
There you go.
But I only had it for 2 years, and I gave it to my neighbor. Which, by the way, I got to pay that bill. I don't think I paid the bill yet.
I love that you left it to somebody who needs it. That's awesome.
The neighbor?
Yeah.
You know what? Joella is her name. And she saw me outside struggling with my lawnmower, trying to get it working and everything else. And I was like, me and hills do not work well. I was about to pass out. So she went over there and started cutting my grass. And the next thing I know, the next time, I was about ready to go cut the grass. She cut the grass. Then all of a sudden, she just started cutting grass. And I said, you don't have to do that. She said, I know. But you were so kind to snowblow my yard last year.
She's repaying the favor.
She's repaying.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? She kept doing it. So I went out there and I said, look, we are moving to Louisiana. I'm going to go ahead and give you this snowblower. But I'm going to have it fixed up, repaired, maintained, do whatever was going on with it, and then have it delivered to you. And that's what I did.
I love that.
And, well, I appreciate that because I think that's something that I could have sold it and got a real good penny off of it, but I didn't need the snowblower anymore.
Yeah.
I didn't, my reward was moving to a state that does not have no damn snow.
It's almost worth more money knowing that it went to somebody that was so, in need of something like that. Yeah.
Well,
and so kind.
What the hell I just lick off my finger?
I have no idea.
I sure hope that's piece of salt. Okay, yeah, it is. All right, so she was out there one day, and she's one of those real independent women, doesn't like help. So I saw her out there shoveling her yard by herself. I said, no, I got this big old snowblower. So I started doing the yard, and she kept shoveling. I said, ma'am, please don't do this. When she first moved in, I said, ma'am, please don't do that. I got it. You can go back inside. I got it. Oh, I don't want to do that. No, I got it. And I said, I'm going to be out here. Then she stayed out there with me. She shoveled, and I kept doing what I was doing. And so the next year came. I did it. again, and I just kept doing it. And so she felt the need to, I mean, she's just a really great neighbor. She's always friendly, always kind to me, said hi. Our dogs got along great. And it was just one of those things where the natural progression is, let's just give it to her. We don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
And somebody complained to me because they said, "Oh, Ricky, you could have got a lot of money out of that." Yeah, but you know what? I don't want to take advantage of nobody.
Yeah.
And it would have sat here at the house, and how long would it take to sell? If I tried to sell it, no.
I feel like the fuzzy feelings were worth more.
And she calls us up every now and then to tell us how our house is doing. So.
Oh, she's so sweet. That's awesome.
So yeah, she was a great neighbor, and we, you know, it was something that it just, again, it's a natural progression of things.
Yeah.
Where, because she appreciated it too, and that's the thing. Now whether or not she's out there snow blowing other people's neighborhoods, I don't know, or houses.
Yeah.
I used to love it. I used to go. And I'd do like 2 houses down this way, 2 houses down up here. I'd snow blow the street so that the mailman could get through by the mailbox fine, everything.
You don't have to do that anymore.
I don't have to do that anymore.
Where are you going to get all your fun?
I have no idea. Maybe swimming in that swimming pool by the lake. I might have to do that.
There you go.
Which has been great, by the way.
Have you gotten into the pool?
Mm-hmm.
You have?
Mm-hmm. I've gotten in quite a few times. Now,
quite a few times.
Well, I mean,
I haven't seen those Facebook Lives.
With the winter, no, you ain't seen it. With the winter months too, you know, anybody's, and I had to ask how to do that for the winter. I said, do I cover it up? Do I do this? And they were like, well, no, just leave the pumps going. It doesn't get cold enough here. I said, okay. I mean,
must be nice.
I never owned a pool before, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's nice that you can like leave it uncovered. Is it heated? Is it like a heated pool? It's not.
It just don't get that cold.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that. I am very cool with that because I know when I came up here the one time, it was like 89 degrees there, 50 degrees here now. So there's that much of a difference. You know, so but
yeah.
when I was 100, I guess Louisiana will be 400. So and we'll see how that goes.
I guess we'll see.
Well, we'll just see. When my face melts off, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But as a Georgia boy, I mean, I got acclimated real quick back to the heat again.
Yeah.
But again, Iowa.
Just a dormant gene waiting to.
A dormant gene? You gonna grow that tail that's gonna soak up all that sunshine? No. Mm-mm.
Maybe, you'll start getting tan in the summer.
Being Mediterranean, I had to just walk outside and be out there for a few minutes, and I start to.
I guess we'll start to see on the podcast.
Jennifer gets mad at me about that.
Yeah. Because
she'll go outside and same thing, she'll burn.
Yeah, my husband's like that. I go outside and I burn, and he just gets real tan. I'm like, oh, must be nice.
Well, I mean, he's Mexican, right?
Half
Mexican. Mm-hmm. And then, me being Mediterranean on different levels with my family. Yeah. But when you work in radio and you're working inside all the time, you start to kind of lighten up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, whatever.
I guess we'll see. We'll keep an eye out on your tan.
Oh, my tan.
Throughout
I ain't worried
the
about no tan. I ain't worried about no tan. I will say this, though. What I noticed is after the first couple of times of being in the water with that chlorine, my psoriasis actually got better.
Yeah, they say to do chlorine baths for eczema and stuff. So
really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
The doctor actually prescribed. My son had really bad eczema early on, and she goes, just add the tiniest bit of bleach to the bath, and eczema was gone.
And I've heard of doing bleach with the dishes, but
yeah. And so it doesn't surprise me that the chlorine would dry everything up. And
well, between that and the sunlight, because sunlight, I don't know about eczema, but I know with psoriasis, they say that the sun is a natural healant of that.
Yeah.
And so between...
It's amazing what being outside will do to people.
I'm not checking stuff. I'm, like I said, sitting inside the studio in the house, so... I have to go out swimming more for medicinal purposes.
There you go.
In fact, I'm gonna check with my tax expert and say, hey, can I write this off as a medicinal purposes?
There you go.
you know, can I write? I mean, I write off the amputation business. Why not this?
I would look forward to those Facebook Lives.
Which ones?
When you're out in the pool.
I'm not doing that. Y'all saying my chunky
You
self is not
Facebook Live everything else.
Okay, there's certain that do I Facebook Live me in the toilet? No.
This is not a toilet.
It's still my chunky self with fat flopping around all in that water and waving at you. No. What? No. We ain't doing that.
Okay, I'm just saying.
In today's episode of SeaWorld, Ricky the orca is about to, dive again. Oh, and by the way, did you notice that his non-existent limbs act as buoys and balancers? No. I wouldn't get into the pool for the first time, and I hadn't been in the pool. So my first amputation was in 2014, and since then I had not gotten into a pool except for one time at the hotel, and I was not comfortable. So getting into the pool again years later, I'm trying to swim, and when you don't have lower legs, your weight distribution is different. So now I'm heavier around my forehead than I am.
Understand. Yeah.
So when I try to dive, I don't know what you're laughing about, Roxanne. So when I try to dive,
every time we talk about this,
I'm going down, but my legs is going up like that, and so I lift back up again, and I'm like, you got to be out your mind. And so
your arms are going to get nice and strong, though, if you do the pool like that.
I have noticed, though, that I'm able to do exercises in the pool and stretch my legs out and float, and I love that. But I have a new prosthetic guy down there. His name is Jason, and also at Hanger Clinic. And he was by the way, Hanger, y'all need to sponsor somebody. I'm walking around with y'all's legs on. You can sponsor somebody. I was talking to Jason about doing swim legs. And he said, do you have any spare legs at home? Yeah, I got like 8 different pairs. He said we could change those and turn those into swim legs.
They could just change them? That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, as long as I got to check to see if I have extra feet.
Oh my! The conversation.
That ain't. Somebody walked in and said extra feet. What's he talking about? I got to check and see if I have extra foots. Okay, so if I got extra foots, then I can put those on, and then there's a protectant they can put on it, so I can go swimming. Or it wouldn't be actually swimming; it'd be walking around in the pool. But it's the getting out of the pool that's the big issue for me.
I see.
Okay, luckily this pool has actually got steps that go down. Yeah. Not just a ladder. So I get up to the pool, I butt scoot up one, butt scoot up the second one, butt scoot up the third one. But it's that final one to get onto the ground when you're weighed down with all that water, and I have nothing to push off of my arms. Yeah. So what I do is I take one leg and put it on, pull up, and I roll like a Tootsie Roll. See, my glass is about to fall off again. I roll like a Tootsie Roll onto the concrete, and then sit up. And I've got all this weight because I wear shirts because I'm fat, and we ain't having no booby flopping around. Anyway, so I sit myself up, and I sit there and I draw for a while, and then I put my legs on after I draw for a while, and then when you have prosthetic legs where my knee is exposed, but I still got that carbon fiber that digs into my knee when I get on my knees trying to stand up. So it's painful. It's a whole experience. So yeah.
It's too bad you don't have like a zero entry, because then you could just like
a zero what?
A zero entry. It's like where you just like it gradually goes down.
What's a zero entry?
I'm telling you, like you just. I don't know. It's more like a ramp than stairs. You just gradually go down and gradually go up, because then you could swim up to the top.
I still have to roll my chunky self out. I mean,
That's fair.
No. And you know what? And with that's the end of this episode, because I am now highly offended. This is Ricky's Big World. We'll leave the light on, door unlocked, and everything else, unless you got something to say about fat people rolling out the pool. Bye.
I was just trying to help.
No, I know you weren't just trying to help nobody. Talking about kind of zero stuff. I mean, you could have just, you could just, I guess, walk with your hands outside and roll up on the thing. I mean, I guess you could do that.
You need to work on your arm strength if you're gonna do that.
I do need to work on my arm strength. You ain't playing about that. But you know what I did when we got everything into the house?
Yeah.
I put all our gym equipment in the third garage in boxes, and they never gonna touch it again.